Hello everyone, my name is Tyler Drozd, and as many of you already know, I'm the Chief Operations Officer at Foregen. And one of the new things I wanted to do this month, and of course going forward, is to release a video with our monthly newsletter. And I thought that this would just be a really great opportunity for me to share some of my thoughts, as well as just further details on some of the things that we're announcing. And I figured we could start with the newsletter for April, so the newsletter that covers what happened in March. And one of the things I'm actually very excited to share about is that myself, as well as Foregen's Chief Science Officer, Eric Cunningham, were able to go on Brendan Marotta's newly launched podcast. And for those of you who don't know who Brendan Marotta is, he's actually the maker of the documentary American Circumcision, which was also released on Netflix. And by all accounts, from what I could see, it had very positive reception. And he was able to, I think, really convince a lot of people, change a lot of minds, and bring this issue to the attention of people who maybe hadn't even really thought about it as an issue before. And that's, of course, a very important task. And also part of the reason why we wanted to go on his podcast, to hopefully reach a general, more broader audience and just really demonstrate the importance of Foregen's work. And, why so many people are supportive of Foregen, who have signed up with us, who are donating to us, and why so many people really think that this is a critical thing to do. And that's, of course, a big part of what we talked about is, of course, Foregen's research, the projects that we're working on. Cunningham, of course, he was able to share a lot of his scientific expertise and broke down a lot of the important elements and parts of the research that I think people would definitely be interested in. And just, talking about our own personal views on the subject and just even, some of the future of Foregen and what we're planning to do. And I think that it's to me, it turned out to be a really great podcast. And if you're interested, you can actually find it on Brendan Marotta's YouTube channel, which of course we have linked in the newsletter here. Depending on when you're watching this video, his podcast will probably have already released. It's being released on March 31st. So you can go and subscribe and find it on his YouTube channel. And then you can also support him. We have a link to his website, which you can go there and also subscribe and support his new podcast. I think this is really important because it's important to amplify media like this and get the message out there to people who maybe haven't seen it before. And the second thing I want to talk about this month is that we also have the third article in our series on mass circumcision in Africa, published on our platform, Commentarium. And it's titled The Fallout of Misguided Circumcision Campaigns in Sub-Saharan Africa. And this piece, it talks about, just kind of this really hasty push by, for example, the WHO to, unfortunately cut as many men and boys and male infants in Africa as possible. And a lot of the protests that have been generated on the ground against a lot of the really just harmful and unintended consequences of these campaigns. And this entire series, of course, we have two other articles that you might be interested in reading. There's a lot of good information in those on our platform Commentarium. But really the point of this series is to just kind of expose and just really show a lot of the conflicts of interest, the corruption, the just devastating real-world consequences that happened as a result of these campaigns. And of course, this is through original and primary research, which is very important. I think really helps to ground this very firmly. And it's an issue that really just needs to be brought into the public conscious more, and just so people can understand these are real people who are affected. This is a serious problem that something needs to be done about, and people need to be more aware of. And this series, I think, hopefully can do some of that, and hopefully get more people aware of what's going on. And of course, Commentarium, our platform, is open to submissions from the community. So if you have a story or if you have an article that you're interested in sharing and you think it would be of interest to people in our community, we'd be more than happy to work with you and potentially publish that on our platform. And on the Commentarium page itself, you can find a tab at the top, a link at the top of the page to submit your ideas. And of course, we also have a link to it in our newsletter as usual. So like I said, if you have something that is of interest to you, if you think it's important to our audience, we're more than happy to work with you. And please submit that, because we want to share things from our community and have them published on our platform. And of course, in March, was obviously one of the most important things we have is our supporters and our donors. And in March, we actually had 30 new ones who signed up, and that was a total of over $700 in recurring donations. And that recurring is really important because those monthly recurring donations really help us, they give us an idea of what our stable income is and what we can do in terms of planning our projects and our work. And for example, one of the things that came from that, of course, is our ability to hire another scientist who is going to be able to lend their expertise and help in animal trials and really kind of help us with that project. So your donations really do have a real world impact and really are helpful in pushing forward the research. And of course, if there's someone that you know or someone in your life who maybe this is a very important issue to them, but they haven't heard about our project yet, or maybe you think that this actually was something be important for them to support and to donate to, you can point them to our donor rewards program, which has, we have, quarterly calls with our supporters. We, of course, have the early newsletter release, among other benefits. And it's something that, obviously you get those things for the different tiers, but then also just the fact that you're supporting this very important research that's, really critical for a lot of men out there, and for all the people who signed up with us and who have, expressed, really an interest in having a procedure like this available publicly. And those donations help to push that forward and making it a reality. And for March overall, we raised, it's about $16,004. I am recording this video a little bit early, so we'll probably actually end up with a little bit more than that for the total for March. But it's another significant month on record for us, and it really, and again, I really think here, our thanks goes to all of our supporters and this really army of people who've contributed and who backed the project. And really, without them, Foregen wouldn't be where it is today. We wouldn't have been able to do research or to publish things, find scientists, all these things that are, so critical to the project. And our thanks really does go out to you. And just like I said, we wouldn't be able to be where we are today. It wouldn't be possible. So I really do thank all of you who contributed, who donate, who support us, who do everything you can to make Foregen something that's possible, and to show really why it's so important and why it's something that's needed in the world. And I think really for this, that kind of sums up everything I wanted to share this month with you. Of course, I'd also like to make another video like this for May, and I'm going to do that because it's something I want to do going forward to connect with our audience and to engage with them, and to just really talk about some of these other things that I can share my own personal thoughts on. But just to reiterate, thanks again for all of your support and donations and everything that you do to make Foregen possible. And I will see you on the next video. Take care.